Good morning, Scott here, known as Cantaloupe to some online, and I'm bringing another video to you on a subject that's interesting to me. It might be of interest to you or someone you know. And I've spoken previously about the former Methodist church here where I'm located that has been closed down at this point and is now the property apparently of a new group called La Familia. And La Familia, if you're not familiar, they advertise themselves as being a support facility for people in need of clothing, socks and stuff. Not a lot of clothing, but apparently I'm not really entirely sure what they do, but I know that they are also in the business of handing out contraception and other birth control solutions such as Plan B. It's the morning after pill, if you're not familiar, stuff like that. And it's completely free. I've mentioned this in my other videos. They have a new vending machine that has no price on it. You just walk up and take what you like, and it's situated right across the street from a high school over here. And my point now in this video, I'm not talking so much about that, but the fact that it's still a church by appearances. So the Methodist church, like I said, has been completely vacated by the church. The people that were running it, the parishioners, there's no more services scheduled, and the main sanctuary, as far as I can tell, is not even in use. However, on the outside, it very much appears as a church. There's a steeple with a cross on it. There's the lettering that you can kind of still make out that they had pried off when they left that designated it as a Methodist church. And it still has the gay flag hanging out front that has been there. But my point is that if they're operating with kind of a wildly new program, and it's all about, contraception and services for the needy is what they're advertising. That has nothing to do necessarily with the Methodist Church. I mean, I would say indirectly with Christianity a little bit in the sense of given to people, but I'm not even sure that that's really what they're into, to be honest. It's a state-funded program. I have gone into it a little bit. I did some research online about what they do, and it's funded by the same politicians and groups that are behind the LGBTQ plus group, all the rights that people who don't want to reproduce, in other words, are all about. So my concern is that there's a conflict of interest, and I don't necessarily mind that they've taken over this property, and it really isn't my business because it wasn't mine to give or sell, but they have that steeple up there still. This is my point of confusion and concern right now, that they're not just, doing something that may be questionable. They're doing it under the steeple, the actual cross that's up there. And that could be confusing to people who are maybe trying to find a church or, are confused about what the church is doing nowadays. So I think they should take that steeple down. And if they're not comfortable taking down that steeple, then maybe there's a bigger problem. If they don't want to deface it to the point where they're actually removing the cross from the top of the building, well, why not? Well, why is everything else okay, but not that? So I don't know. I think I have a point here. Reach out if you like with questions or comments to whitehotrobot@gmail.com. Thank you.